All right, Shalom, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching and ruling one of scripture. Salutations to you, Akim, across the world, pushing his word in truth and in sincerity and maturity. And this is just going to be a quick lesson. I have the word imperialism pulled up here. It says 1826, advocacy of empire, devotion to imperial interest, originally in a Napoleonic context, also of Rome and of British foreign policy, from imperial plus ism. At times, bear with me one second, at times in British usage and briefly in the United States, with a neutral or positive sense relating to national interest or the spread of benefits of Western civilization, which is America, Babylon the Great. All right, the kingdom of Edom, Idumea, as it speaks of in the scriptures. Okay, so this spirit of imperialism on the left-hand side, all right, being spread across the world, is nothing more than the same Roman Empire coming back, man. It says of Rome and of British foreign policy. All right, so what? This goes back to what? The Roman Empire, man. This whole democracy and imperialism, all right, that Esau, all right, goes forth with across the planet is nothing new, man. All right, it says, but from the beginning, usually more or less a term of reproach. General sense of one country's rule over another. Okay, so this shows you, right, that America is nothing but a empire. It's not a righteous kingdom. All right, and what did you have during the time of the Romans? The Greco-Roman Empire. You had an empire, the empire of the Romans. Okay? You had the different rulers, the different Caesars. All right, and you had that conquest, all right, by Esau during that time to what? Take over the known world. Okay, the brothers in England were going into it on how America has more than enough oil. They have, the elder in London said they have more oil. They have more than enough oil here in America and in Alaska. They have more oil than in the Middle East. But the reason why they're going into the Middle East to get the oil, this is just an example, all right, of the fact that this man is the devil and Satan, and I'm going to get the scriptures to back it up, is because they want to control the resources. Other nations' resources, by the way. Okay? And this is that red beast. All right, that red dragon, the red beast, as it speaks of in Revelation, man. The red horse, I mean. Okay? So it shows you that this is the same thing that the Roman Empire did, because if you read the history of the Romans, they were on these same types of conquests, man. The same thing that the United States, America, Babylon the Great is doing is the same thing that the Roman Empire did in the ancient world, man. Okay, so this is 1 Maccabees chapter 8, verse 1. It says, now Judas had heard of the fame of the Romans, that they were mighty and valiant men, and such as would lovingly accept, bear with me one second, and such that would lovingly accept all that joined themselves unto them, and make a league of amity with all that came unto them. That's America today. Their military, so-called military might, all nations that join themselves unto them, they support those nations, man. You see? That's why it tells you in Ecclesiastes, the 1st chapter, in the 9th verse, that there's nothing new under the sun. America is the Roman Empire back in the reincarnation, man. Okay? The 10 toes, all right, of that statue. The beast whose deadly wound was healed. The beast, talking about the Roman Empire. And the deadly wound was healed during the time of the early 1400s, during the time of the Renaissance, which means, Renaissance means rebirth. Rebirth of what? This Roman Empire. The deadly wound was healed. This is the same thing, and now the Roman Empire is back, all right, labeled as America, Babylon the Great, and they're back doing the same exact things. First Maccabees 8, and bear with me 1 second. First Maccabees 8 and 2, and that they were men of great valor. It was told him also of their wars and noble acts, which they had done amongst the Galatians, and how they had conquered them and brought them under tribute. And that's what America does to this day. That's why you've had all these wars over resources and drugs over in the Middle East. Okay? Now, through their military, through their war, these other nations submit, so that they submit and they are brought into tribute under America, man. And that's what we have currently, all right, in this lifetime, in this world, in this reincarnation of the Roman Empire. Okay? Bear with me 1 second. Let me turn this off, because it's going to keep doing that. Let's keep going. First Maccabees 8 and 3. And it's crazy. Our people are not listening to this. They're not listening to the prophets break this down and explain who's over us and what's going on in this world, man. And through the scriptures and through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, you can see all these things, man. Okay? First Maccabees chapter 8, verse 3. And what they had done in the country of Spain for the winning of the mines of the silver and gold which is there. It's the same thing today. America goes to a country. They go to war with them. They win the war. They put that nation in submission and tribute. And what? They gain control of their resources. And in this time, it was the Edomites gaining control of the other country's mines. And silver and gold. That same sentiment, that same spirit of conquest is what Yahweh Shem Yahushai is showing us, all right, through the scriptures, and how we're identifying the Edomites, man. Who are the Romans, the Greeks, so-called. Because they're not even the Roman and the Greeks. They renamed themselves as those nations because they conquered those nations. Just like they renamed themselves as the Jews, Jewish. They have conquered us. We're a conquered people. We're in subject to them, captivity to them. But it just shows you the spirit of Esau, man. And it's the same thing to this day, man. Nothing is new under the sun, man. Let's see if there's more in this. Yeah, it's a little bit more. First Maccabees 8 and 4. And that by their policy and patience, they had conquered all that place, though it were very far from them. Over the sea, and the kings also that came against them from the uttermost part of the earth, till they had discomfited them and given them a great overthrow, so that the rest did give them tribute every year. That's America. That's how America's gotten its power, through war. You see, through war. That same spirit, that same sentiment, that same energy of conquest, man. Let me get this real quick. So it was prophesied for these Edomites to do that both in that time and this time, man. Let me see here. Bear with me 1 second. This is Revelations chapter 6 and 3. And when, let's see. Revelation chapter 6, verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. And it's talking about Esau. It's Talking about Esau by way of their conquest spirit of kill, steal, and destroy, man. John, the 10th chapter. Okay, let me get that. These are the Edomites, man. This is John chapter 10. And it's all under the guise of what? Imperialism. All right? Democracy. You see? John chapter 10, verse 10. The thief, this is Yahushua speaking on the Roman Empire and Esau. The thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. That's a culmination of their conquest spirit. All right? Of the Roman Empire, these Edomites, and their imperialism and their democracy. And Biden just was so-called sworn in, just going off. And he said it's a new time for democracy, man. Okay? And this is that same spirit, man. The same so-called spirit of what? Imperialism, man. Okay? John 10 and 10. But the Lord is telling us that he's showing us that this conquest and this spirit and vibration is of wickedness, man. And it's of this devil. Okay? John 10 and 10. The thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come for that they may have life and that they might have it more abundantly. And that's what Yahweh Shem Yahushua has given us through the spirit of understanding, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Okay? Until he comes and gives it to us physically. Okay? But I don't want to make this too long. I was just, trying to point out that same spirit of Esau's imperialism, democracy. It goes back to the Roman Empire, which shows you that this is the Roman Empire, all right, reincarnated. And not just that, you can look at the examples physically when you go in this world. Look at the courthouses, the Capitol buildings. All right, go to Washington D.C. and look at the architecture. It's the same thing as the Roman Empire. All right, the same thing as Mount Seir, Petra, where the Edomites dwelt. Okay, where the Romans dwelt. Okay. There is no doubt about it that these people ruling now are the biblical Edomites, man. You see? Let me see if I can find that last scripture. Deadly wound. Bear with me 1 second. So, that's perfect. Revelation 13 and 3. And this is the beast system. And this is why the world is drunk off of the ways of America and can't understand the ways, our people and the world are drunk off the ways of America, Babylon the Great, which is nothing but the Roman Empire and Esau's rulership. Because this is that Roman Empire, once again I'm going to say it, reincarnated. Because Jake took down the Edomite Romans, all right, and we ruled for 1,000 years, known as the Holy Roman Empire. You see, known as also the Byzantine Empire. Okay, then we went down after the 1,000 years, all right, around the time of the early 1400s. That is when the beasts, the Edomites, ruled, and their deadly wound that we wounded them with by way of us coming into power and taking them down was being healed during the time of the Renaissance. That's why it's called the rebirth of the Edomites. And this is currently the rebirthed, deadly wound healed system that we're living in now. Revelations 13 and 3. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast. That's the spirit. That's what's going on now. This world, the people are wondering after America, which is that beast. Okay? All the world is wondering after America. drunk off of their philosophies, their wine, their ways, their ideologies, and far from the truth, especially our people, man. Revelation 13-12, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him. Doing the same thing the Roman Empire did, man. The same architecture, the same ways, the draconian law, the unrighteous decrees. And causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed, man. These people are ignorant to the fact that they're in a reincarnated Rome, man. And they're doing the same things and serving the Roman Empire as of old. Okay? But I don't want to go too more into it. That was just something quick and through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Call halal Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Bahashem Rakakwadash. Lord willing, those edifying double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching and ruling well in the scriptures. Salutations to you, Akim, across the world, pushing his word in truth and in sincerity with charity. Shalom and Abba Babal.